Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to kind of doing a two-in-one type of video. Since it's about to be December, probably by the time I put this video up, it will be December. We're in the Christmas time frame now. Now is when all the festive holiday looks come out, which are my favorite looks to create because I absolutely love Christmas, if you guys can't tell by my beautiful tree behind me. In today's video, I'll show you guys how to recreate this really pretty and very easy to do makeup look that also incorporates glitter, which is one of my favorite things about Christmas / like New Year's holiday time, is all the pretty glitter and glitz and glam and all that fun stuff. So I did use the NYX Red glitter, so it looks like this. And usually Ulta always has them on sale. Sometimes they'll have like 50% off all eye products, or buy one get 50% off and all that stuff. So I really like the glitter on my eyes. But I don't know if you guys can tell, but both of my eyes are done with two totally different palettes. So if you guys look really close, I don't know if my lights are washing it out at all, but both of these eyes are done with totally different palettes. I was browsing through Walgreens as usual, and I always like seeing what new and exciting stuff they have for holiday, what stuff they just have that's new, that's coming out. And I came across something that looked very similar to something that we all love and know, and that is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. So this is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, which is actually what I have on this eye right here. And this is definitely a holy grail for a lot of people. It's one of my favorite palettes, but I found something that is a dupe, but it's way cheaper than the $42 that the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette is. And I saw this at Walgreens. I don't know, maybe you guys have seen it or not. It's something that supposedly isn't supposed to come out until, I think, December or January. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's coming out December online. It's supposed to be January in stores, but I found it in my store. And that is, you guys ready for this? You guys ready? Bam! Look at this. So this is called the Wet n Wild Rose in the Air Color Icon palette. So if you guys know anything about Wet n Wild is known for their Color Icon eyeshadows. It's probably one of the things that made me fall in love with them first. And their Color Icon line is a really good line too. It's very affordable and very pigmented as well. The palettes usually come with 8 eyeshadows, but now they're doing this new thing where they add a transition shade, 2 different transition shades, as well as you have your eyeshadows here. One side is day and the other side is night. So I was very intrigued by this, especially because it was $5, which is usually how much the Wet n Wild eyeshadow palettes cost. And I saw these colors right here, these two and this one right here, and I'm like, this looks so familiar. Look at this, guys. Look at that. Tell me this isn't like an exact dupe. So I wanted to put it to the test and put this in as a part of my palette comparison video. So they did reformulate their Color Icon eyeshadows, and they also came out with 3 other ones. So in today's video, I wanted to kind of compare the Rose, oh, it's called Rosé in the Air, not Rose. Rosé in the Air and the Modern Renaissance palette. And I'm going to quickly do some swatch comparisons. I really suck at this, but I'm going to do it for you guys. So this first one here is the transition shade. And then I felt like that was a good dupe for warm taupe. The next one is called, or is this matte vanilla shade. They are a little powdery. And that one was a good dupe for tempera. Except I felt like the other one was not as satin. The next one is this one, which I was really excited for because it is a good dupe for the Primavera shade, which is my favorite shade in the Modern Renaissance palette. And I hope Anastasia makes it permanent. Well, not permanent, but single. And the Wet n Wild ones are a little chalkier, but it's all good. The next one is this pink rosy shade, or mauve shade I should say. And that one was a good dupe for Bone Fresco. Then we have this one here. And that one was good for Antique Bronze, which is kind of powdery too. Next one is this transition shade here. And guys, I'm just like swiping it twice in there. So I'm gonna start a new row up here. That's that one. And I felt like that was a good one for either one of these two really, burnt orange or raw sienna. But I think it's a little warmer, so we'll go with burnt orange. Then we have the orange here. And that one is a good dupe for Realger. Then we have the red here. And that one's a good dupe for Red Ochre, which Red Ochre is probably the driest one in the Modern Renaissance palette. So I do have to pull that up. Then the next one is this pink. And I'm kind of torn between whether if it's Venetian Red or if it's Love Letter, but I'm going to go with Love Letter. Love Letter is a little more pink. And then the last one is this brown here. And that one is Cypress Umber, which is the creamiest, I think. So those are the swatches right there. So you can kind of see them side by side. I definitely think they're not 100% dupes, but they definitely are very, very similar. They're not like identical, but like you can't even really tell the difference on which eye is which, unless if I were to tell you that both of them are different, then that's when you will be able to tell. So personally, my opinion is I do think they're both very comparable to each other. However, when I look at it, and I'm gonna look in my little mirror here just to make sure I'm not making stuff up. So I feel like they both blended out very nicely. None of them gave me a hard time with blending. They're both very, very creamy. Like I said, the Wet n Wild was a little chalkier than the Modern Renaissance from Anastasia. But I do think that the reds and the pinks were a little deeper in the Wet n Wild than in the Modern Renaissance. I feel like the Modern Renaissance was a little bit more lighter, neutral, like wearable, I guess you could say, like it's more daytime appropriate, if you want to say. And then with the Primavera shade, especially looking at the swatches, I can definitely tell a difference. I feel like this one is a little bit more vibrant, while this is more of a darker gold. I don't feel like they're exactly the same. Like I said, this one looks more vibrant on the lid, but then this one looks more deeper in the crease. I definitely do think it's a really great dupe. If you guys wanted the Modern Renaissance palette but can't afford it, then I definitely would say to pick it up. If you guys want to learn how to recreate this look and get ready for the holidays with me, then continue watching. So this is the size that I'm going to be using the palettes on. So on this eye, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild. So I started off with the transition shade that's towards the bottom of the palette. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the top transition shade as well to kind of start blending that out. And the first thing I noticed was that it was very pigmented. Then I'm using my little color switch and going into the shade Burnt Orange from the Modern Renaissance palette with the same exact brush. And I did notice it wasn't as pigmented, so I did have to build it up quite a bit. So I think I put the brush in the eyeshadow like twice to get the pigmentation I wanted. Then I went into Warm Taupe and then I just blended out the edges. And then I'm going into this orange shade and I'm using my Kylie brush and I'm just going to go ahead and start applying that into the crease as well. And as I was filming this video, there are some parts that are a little bit out of focus. It's probably because of the mirror that I used, which I'm probably not going to use this mirror again. So I'm just putting that in there and then using the color switch again, which I'm not going to show myself doing it every single time. And then I went ahead and used the color Realger and I went ahead and put that on the other eye with the same exact brush.
So first in the crease and then in the outer corner. And then I went in with my MAC 217 brush and used this dark red color and started applying that on the outer V. And this color was super, super pigmented. It was very deep and rich. And then whatever's left over, I just applied that in the crease. And then I used my color switch, and then I used the color Red Ochre from the Modern Renaissance palette, which I noticed wasn't as pigmented or as intense as the red from the other palette. So the other one I felt like was a little bit deeper. And you can kind of see here the difference. So then I'm using my color switch because I wanted to use my 217 brush again, and then I'm using this pink shade and I'm just applying that onto the outer V. I'm sorry for the parts that are out of focus, guys. I promise I won't use this mirror again. So then I just went ahead and put down the outer V as well as in the crease. And this was just to add some depth. And then I went in with the color Love Letter and I put that on the other eye, which is the color that I felt like was the most similar to this eyeshadow. And again, I am so sorry about the parts that are out of focus, but you can kind of see what I'm doing here. And then I went ahead and used some of my Colourpop concealer, and I went ahead and used that to carve out the front part of my lid. In this eye, for some reason, it was focusing on my tree behind me. I don't know why it was doing that. My camera was just acting very crazy. But then it went back into focus, so you can kind of see that I did the top part of the lid first, and then I just filled in the bottom half and kind of blended it out. And you really want to take your time with this step. And you can see the difference when it is carved out versus when it's not. It just makes it look more cleaned. I really enjoy doing this with my eyeshadow. So then on this eye, my camera didn't go out of focus too much. It stayed pretty much in focus, so you can really see how I'm really taking my time slowly applying that into the crease to make sure it's nice and crisp.
It's delicious.
And this step usually takes me about 2 or 3 minutes to do on each eye. And then I went ahead and used this really pretty shimmer shade, which for some reason I didn't show, but it's the dupe for the Primavera shade. And I used that on my Morphe 224 brush, M224, and just packed that on right on top. And then I went into the Primavera shade, which is my favorite shade from the Modern Renaissance palette, and I just put that right on top. And I could definitely tell that it was a lot more intense with the shimmer. I felt like it was almost metallic, while the other one was more of a pure shimmer. So you can kind of see the difference here. And then I went into this matte vanilla shade and put that as my brow bone. And then I also put Tempera in the other eye. For some reason I didn't show a clip of that. Then I used my Tarte Man Eater eyeliner, and I'm using the Too Faced glitter glue and an angled brush, and I'm just going right on top of that. So I put on my black eyeliner first, so that way it could be a nice base for the glitter that we're going to apply on top, and you kind of have a better shape of it. And then I'm using my NYX glitter in the shade Red, and I'm using another angled brush from Wet n Wild as well. And I just put that glitter into the lid. You can see here how much glitter I put on there. And then I grab some of that, and then I just start packing it right on top. You want to try to do this right after you put on the glitter glue, because if not, the glitter glue will dry and it'll make it a little bit harder to do, which is what I found the issue to be with this eye in particular. And I just slowly started adding on that glitter. You don't want to put too much on at one time, because then it will make a total mess. And if you are going to be dealing with glitter, definitely do your eyes first and then do your foundation, because if not, you will have glitter fall out all over the place. And I just keep packing on that glitter until I get it to be completely covered and nice and intense. And you can see that you can barely see any black here. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. Put the glitter glue down first right on top of the line for my eyeliner. And then I just went ahead and packed that glitter right on top.
It's delicious.
And this is probably when I noticed that my camera kept going in and out of focus. So then I used some of this translucent powder and a brush, and I always put that on my face so that way I can get rid of that glitter fallout and I don't have it all over the place. And I try to use very light powder because I'm going to put creams right on top of this. So this is always a little trick that I like doing. And then I'm just going to go into this shade down here, and this is the dupe for the color called Antique Bronze. So then I use Antique Bronze on the other eye with my MAC 217 brush. And then I'm using my Tarte Gifted mascara, which is one of my all-time favorite mascaras right now. I absolutely love this. It gives me the nice length that I want as well as a little bit of volume. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use my Colourpop BFF3 lip liner. And then I started using Kat Von D's Bow and Arrow liquid lipstick. But after I put it on, I realized that it wasn't really the color that I was going for to go with this eye look. So then I put Kat Von D's Lolita liquid lipstick right on top to kind of make it not as intense as it usually is. It mixes in nicely with the Bow and Arrow shade. And after we've done that, this look is complete. I hope you guys did enjoy my comparison video. And as always, if you guys have any requests, please leave them down below in the comment sections. And definitely let me know if you guys are planning on picking up any of the Wet n Wild new eyeshadows, or if you have, what you think about them. And if you guys recreate this look, please make sure you guys do use my hashtag and tag me on my Instagram. I definitely would love to see whatever recreation you guys do, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then.